Hello everyone, my name is Anson, this is Bronson, this is Ho-Yoon, and this is Nate. We are thrilled to present to you our Capstone project today. Our Capstone project is an augmented reality restaurant menu that will be able to improve customer dining experience. We noticed that many customers when dining use traditional paper menus, that they sometimes do not have adequate visual representation of the food. We were able to interview the manager at Coco Lunchbox, a local Korean restaurant here in Provo, and she identified two key problems. The first problem was that customers are not familiar with the food. And second, more importantly, customers were disappointed with the food when it didn't look the way they expected. With our augmented reality app, we want to solve these problems so customers can accurately see their food menu items through the use of 3D models. We saw an opportunity to use augmented reality to address our previously mentioned problems. In fact, our initial research indicates that AR market will have a market value of over $50 billion by 2024. Companies like Amazon have already implemented AR technologies with their customer shopping experience, but the food industry has not fully utilized this in the same way. We set 4 goals and outcomes to help achieve our AR restaurant menu while focusing on our customers' needs. First, we needed to produce a virtual and interactive menu. This is the key deliverable. Second, create an engaging and fun experience. Our project shouldn't just focus on the functionalities, but also user engagement as well. Third, our 3D models should be realistic and high quality. This is what truly sets our project apart from traditional 2D images. Lastly, we want to increase exposure of augmented reality to everyone. We hope users can engage with this new innovation and be technologically minded.
Our core components consist of 3 things. First, we need to create more awareness through advertisements, social media, and etc., so that more people will be drawn to eat at the restaurants that use it. We will also need high resolution and realistic 3D models that will ultimately look better than regular 2D pictures to portray what each menu item will look like. And finally, an incredibly streamlined and user-friendly UI that will allow AR newbies and veterans alike to navigate and enjoy the app.
So for our implementation, first we utilize Figma to design wireframes for how our app will look like. So it's very easy for us to draw up prototypes that we could show to our audience. As you can see on the screenshot, we have laid out how our app will look like. Before diving into development process, it was nice for us to use Figma to create wireframes so we know how we can design when actually developing the product. And next, in order to produce 3D model of our food items, we used an app called Clone to scan the model. It makes 3D AR model for us to use it on our development platform. Here's an example of how Clone works. After scanning the food model, we exported our models and imported them to our development platform. For our app development, we use Unity. Unity was our best option since we are utilizing AR technology. We have developed all functionalities and UI through Unity. And we were able to integrate Unity with Vuforia, which is a helpful engine for creating an AR app. Here is an example of our Unity development environment. Lastly, for deployment, we decided to use TestFlight to showcase our app before going into a full production phase and deploying in the App Store. Any iOS user can download TestFlight app and access our app once we grant them access to the app.
constantly went back to users for feedback to make sure that we were meeting our outcomes that we previously set. These, of course, being that the food models are accurate in helping the customers see what the food looks like beforehand, and that the app is engaging and fun for customers. And so in these surveys, we had many different measures, both for the AR model, the app's UX and UI, and the image recognition. The survey tool that we used in collecting this data from customers was Qualtrics. We used Qualtrics because our users are already familiar with Qualtrics-style surveys, and Qualtrics gives very extensive reports at the end that you can use to draw conclusions. Also, this software is free for BYU students, so it didn't present any more cost to us. These surveys consisted of 6 questions. We kept it short to reduce survey fatigue for our users, and we included 2 questions testing each different component. And these surveys included both qualitative and quantitative data. The quantitative data being measured by a Likert scale, from strongly disagree to strongly agree, and the qualitative data being measured using free response questions. The results of the quantitative section of these surveys boiled down to these averages, 1 being strongly disagree and 5 being strongly agree. The first key point that we wanted to highlight was accuracy. This received a score of 4.56 out of 5, meaning that the majority of our customers found our 3D AR models to be accurate and a good representation of what the food will look like. The second metric that we wanted to highlight was that our 3D models are enjoyable and fun to use. This received a score of 4.78 out of 5, meaning that the majority of the users we tested thought our app was exciting and novel, just like we had planned. The final measure that we wanted to highlight in this quantitative analysis is ease of navigation throughout the app. This received a score of 4.67 out of 5, meaning that the majority of our users found our app easy to navigate around. As I said before, we also collected qualitative data from the users in these surveys. We asked users to describe the food models using 3 words. Some of the responses we got were exciting, fun, and accurate. This perfectly matches up with our key outcomes. We also asked the customers if there was anything we could do to improve the app's UI. Some of the responses we received included minor changes that we could make to the app, such as this one, changing Quick Start to Scan. We changed a button that said Quick Start to be a simple play button to make it more user-friendly and easier for the user to understand.
As our project is more of a proof of concept, our plans for the future include moving away from using personal web servers to AWS, as this technology will increase our ability to scale and improve performance. Once we are ready to launch on the App Store, we will keep our app free to increase availability, but include ads in the short term to generate revenue. Our goal is to bring the service to other restaurants as well, and we will eventually remove the ads and switch to a subscription model when restaurants want to use our services. And finally, we will add a feature that can track the user's location and bring up a list of restaurants that are using AR restaurant menu that they can locate and view menus for. Some of the lessons we learned were that one of the best and easiest ways to increase business and customer satisfaction is by creating high-quality images. Coco's Lunchbox was a great example of this, and we have high hopes that our 3D models can increase this effect. The second thing that we learned from our surveys were that the most important thing that everything needs to revolve around is the simplicity and ease of use of the app. If the flow of the app has too many steps and is not streamlined in a way that is simple for the user, more often than not, users will get confused and frustrated. And finally, many people have very little interaction with AR, and just by implementing this technology, it is easy to draw people in. And that was our Capstone project. We hope you enjoyed this presentation, and thank you for watching.